Just returned from 7 nights aboard Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady, and let me tell you something that surprised me about this ship. Everyone talks about how Virgin changed the cruise game, but nobody mentions the one thing that actually makes this ship different from every other floating hotel out there. I've sailed on over 40 ships in the last decade, and what I discovered on Resilient Lady completely changed how I think about modern cruising. This isn't your typical family cruise ship with screaming kids and endless buffet lines. Virgin Voyages made a bold choice when they designed Resilient Lady. This is an adults-only experience from bow to stern. That means no children under 18, period. If you're looking for a cruise where you can actually relax without dodging strollers or listening to crying babies at dinner, keep watching because I'm about to break down everything you need to know about this game-changing ship. The moment you step aboard Resilient Lady, you realize this isn't your grandmother's cruise ship. The design feels more like a boutique hotel that happens to float than a traditional cruise liner. Virgin took everything people complain about on regular cruise ships and flipped it completely upside down. Let's start with where you'll be sleeping because honestly, Virgin nailed this part better than most cruise lines. The staterooms on Resilient Lady come in several categories, and even the most basic inside cabin feels surprisingly spacious. These aren't the cramped closets you might expect from other cruise lines. The insider cabins are the most affordable option, and while they don't have windows, they're cleverly designed with mood lighting that changes throughout the day. The beds are actually comfortable, not those rock-hard mattresses you find on some ships. Each cabin comes with a small seating area, decent storage space, and a bathroom that's bigger than what you'd find on most other cruise lines. Step up to the sea terrace cabins, and you get a proper balcony with ocean views. The balconies aren't huge, but they're perfectly sized for 2 people to sit comfortably with their morning coffee. The glass railings give you unobstructed views, which is something I really appreciate when I'm trying to spot dolphins or watch the sunset. The Serious Suite and Fab Suite options take things to another level entirely. These rooms feel more like high-end hotel suites than cruise ship cabins. You get separate living areas, larger balconies, and some even come with outdoor showers. The Fab Suites include priority boarding, which alone is worth the upgrade if you hate waiting in long lines. What really sets Virgin apart is their Rockstar Suites. These aren't just bigger rooms, they're a completely different cruise experience. Rockstar guests get their own dedicated entrance, priority everything, and access to Richard's rooftop, an exclusive sun deck that regular passengers can't access. The suites themselves are massive, with separate bedrooms, living rooms, and some even have their own hot tubs on the balcony. All the cabins come with Virgin's signature red hammocks on the balconies, which sounds gimmicky but is actually pretty comfortable for afternoon naps. The technology throughout the ship is impressive too. Everything is controlled through Virgin's app on your phone, from adjusting the cabin temperature to ordering room service. Now let's talk about food, because this is where Resilient Lady really shines compared to traditional cruise ships. Forget everything you know about cruise ship dining. Virgin completely reimagined how food works at sea. There's no main dining room with assigned seating times, no formal nights where you have to dress up, and definitely no mystery meat at the buffet. Instead of one giant buffet, Virgin created the galley, which feels more like a food hall with different stations. You've got fresh sushi, made-to-order tacos, gourmet burgers, and actually good pizza. The quality is consistently better than what you'll find on most cruise ships, and the variety means you won't get bored eating the same things every day. The specialty restaurants are where Virgin really shows off. Pink Agave is their Mexican restaurant, and the guacamole alone is worth the cruise fare. They make it tableside, and it's some of the best I've had anywhere, not just on a cruise ship. The margaritas aren't bad either, if you're into that sort of thing. Extra Virgin is the Italian spot, and they serve fresh pasta that's actually made on board. The carbonara is creamy perfection, and the wine list includes some surprisingly good Italian selections. It's the kind of place you'd happily eat at on land, which isn't something you can say about most cruise ship restaurants. Wake is the steakhouse, and they know what they're doing with meat. The ribeye I had was cooked perfectly, and the sides were restaurant quality. The prices are reasonable too. You're not paying cruise ship markup for average food. You're paying fair prices for genuinely good meals. Gunbi is their Korean BBQ restaurant, which is something completely different from what you'll find on other cruise lines. You cook your own meat at the table. The banchan is authentic, and it's actually fun to eat there with friends. It's not just Korean food, it's good Korean food prepared by people who understand the cuisine. The test kitchen is Virgin's most upscale dining option, where the menu changes regularly based on what the chefs want to experiment with. It's the kind of place where you might get molecular gastronomy one night and comfort food with a twist the next. The tasting menu format means you'll try things you never would have ordered otherwise. For casual dining, there's the Beach Club by day, which serves lighter fare like salads, sandwiches, and fresh seafood. The lobster roll is surprisingly good for being on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Dockhouse serves comfort food that actually tastes like comfort food, not the bland versions you get on other cruise lines. The bars on Resilient Lady deserve their own review. The Sip Champagne bar has an impressive selection of bubbles, from affordable Prosecco to bottles that cost more than most people's monthly rent. The Lime and Coconut is a tropical bar that makes cocktails with fresh ingredients, not the syrupy mixes you find elsewhere. Draft House is the beer bar, with craft selections that change regularly. They actually have knowledgeable bartenders who can recommend something based on your taste preferences. The Social Club is more of a lounge atmosphere, perfect for pre-dinner drinks or late-night conversations. Speaking of pools, Virgin did something interesting here too. Instead of one massive pool deck that's always overcrowded, they created different pool areas for different moods. The main pool area has the energy you'd expect, with music and activities throughout the day. But then there's the adults-only vitamin C pool area, which is more relaxed and perfect for actually swimming laps or just floating peacefully. The pool itself is a decent size, and there are plenty of loungers that don't require you to wake up at dawn to claim a spot. The athletic club pool is designed for people who actually want to exercise in the water. It's longer and deeper than typical cruise ship pools, so you can swim actual laps instead of just splashing around. The surrounding deck has space for stretching or doing bodyweight exercises if you're into that. Virgin also created several whirlpools scattered around the ship, each with a different vibe. Some are party-focused with music and drinks, while others are tucked away in quieter corners for people who want to relax without the noise. The water temperature is consistently perfect, which seems like a small thing until you've been in lukewarm hot tubs on other ships. The sun decks are thoughtfully designed with different types of seating. You've got traditional pool loungers, but also debris, hammocks, and even some pods that provide shade if you want to be outside without getting fried by the sun. The deck materials don't get scorching hot like they do on some ships, so you can walk around barefoot without burning your feet. One thing that impressed me was how Virgin managed crowd flow around the pool areas. Even when the ship was full, it never felt like you were fighting for space or couldn't find somewhere to sit. They clearly spent time thinking about how people actually use pool decks instead of just cramming in as many chairs as possible. Activities on Resilient Lady are where you really see Virgin's different approach to cruising. Instead of cheesy game shows and amateur hour entertainment, they focus on experiences that adults actually want to participate in. The fitness center is legitimately good, with equipment that's newer and better maintained than what you'll find at many land-based gyms. They offer group fitness classes throughout the day, from yoga sessions on the deck at sunrise to high-intensity interval training for people who want to work off all that good food. The instructors are actually qualified, not just cruise staff members who got handed a whistle and told to lead aerobics. The rock climbing wall is more challenging than the token walls you find on other ships. It's designed with multiple routes of different difficulty levels, so beginners can have fun while experienced climbers actually get a workout. The safety equipment is top-notch, and the staff knows what they're doing. Virgin created the Manor, which is their nightclub, but it's not the cheesy disco you might expect. The music is actually good, the lighting creates the right atmosphere, and the space is designed so you can have conversations without shouting. It transforms throughout the night, starting as a lounge and becoming more of a dance club as the evening progresses. During the day there are activities like trivia contests, but they're not the dumbed-down versions you find elsewhere. The questions are actually challenging, and the prizes are worth winning. There are also mixology classes where you learn to make cocktails properly, not just watch someone pour ingredients into a shaker. The outdoor movie screenings happen on a proper screen with good sound quality, not a bedsheet stretched between poles. They show a mix of current movies and classics, and you can order food and drinks to your deck chair. It's like a floating drive-in theater, except better because you don't have to worry about parking. Virgin also offers classes and workshops that change throughout the cruise. You might find cooking classes with the ship chefs, photography workshops, or even business seminars. These aren't just ways to fill time, they're genuinely educational experiences that you might actually use when you get home. The spa on Resilient Lady takes wellness seriously instead of just trying to sell you expensive treatments. Redemption Spa and Fitness is designed around the idea that you should feel better when you leave than when you arrived. The treatment menu includes traditional massages and facials, but also more unique options like sound healing and meditation sessions. The thermal suite is included with spa treatments, and it's worth experiencing even if you're not usually a spa person. The different saunas and steam rooms are maintained at proper temperatures, and the relaxation areas are actually relaxing instead of feeling like waiting rooms. They offer fitness boot camps and personal training sessions for people who want to maintain their workout routine while on vacation. The trainers are certified and can adapt workouts to different fitness levels. It's not just about looking good in your cruise photos, it's about feeling good throughout your trip. The yoga and meditation classes happen in dedicated spaces with proper equipment and experienced instructors. The sunrise yoga sessions on deck are particularly popular, and for good reason. There's something special about doing sun salutations while watching the ocean wake up around you. Virgin also created unique wellness experiences like the mud room, where you can apply different types of therapeutic mud and rinse off in rainfall showers. It sounds weird, but it's actually incredibly relaxing and leaves your skin feeling amazing. The hydrotherapy pools use different water temperatures and jet patterns to help with muscle recovery and stress relief. The spa products they use and sell are high-quality brands that you'd find at upscale spas on land. The prices aren't outrageous either, which is refreshing after being gouged for basic toiletries on other cruise lines. The staff is knowledgeable about the treatments and can make recommendations based on what you're trying to achieve. Since Resilient Lady is adults only, there are no kids clubs or family activities to review. This is actually one of the ship's biggest selling points for many passengers. You can enjoy your vacation without worrying about children running through the hallways or screaming in the pools. The absence of families changes the entire atmosphere of the ship. Conversations in the bars are more sophisticated, the pool areas are peaceful, and you can actually hear the entertainment without kids talking through performances. It's not that Virgin has anything against children, they just recognize that some adults want a vacation from other people's kids. This adults-only policy extends to everything on the ship. The restaurants can serve more adventurous foods without worrying about picky young eaters. The entertainment can be more mature and sophisticated. Even the ship's design can focus on adult aesthetics instead of bright colors and cartoon characters. For couples, this creates a much more romantic atmosphere throughout the ship. You can have intimate dinners without high chairs and crying babies at nearby tables. The hot tubs are places for relaxation instead of splash zones. Even simple things like walking around the ship become more pleasant when you're not dodging strollers. The ports of call for Resilient Lady vary depending on which itinerary you choose, but Virgin has done something smart with their shore excursions. Instead of the generic bus tours that most cruise lines offer, they've partnered with local companies to create more authentic experiences. In the Caribbean, you might find yourself on a catamaran sailing trip that actually sails instead of just motoring to a beach. The snorkeling excursions take you to reefs that aren't overrun with cruise passengers from other ships. The cultural tours focus on local history and traditions instead of just hitting the obvious tourist spots. Virgin's excursions tend to be smaller groups, which makes for a better experience overall. You're not herded around with 50 other people trying to hear a guide over the noise. The pace is more relaxed and there's time to actually explore instead of rushing from one photo opportunity to the next. The food tours in port are particularly well done. Instead of eating at restaurants that cater to cruise passengers, you visit local markets, family-owned eateries, and places where locals actually eat. You learn about the ingredients and cooking techniques that make each destination's cuisine unique. For more active passengers, Virgin offers hiking excursions, bike tours, and water sports that go beyond the basic offerings from other cruise lines. The equipment is better maintained, the guides are more knowledgeable, and the locations are chosen for their natural beauty rather than just their proximity to the port. Even if you prefer to explore on your own, Virgin provides helpful information about each port that goes beyond the basic tourist brochures. They'll tell you about local transportation options, recommend restaurants and bars that aren't tourist traps, and suggest activities that match your interests. After sailing on Resilient Lady, it's clear that Virgin Voyages succeeded in creating something genuinely different in the cruise industry. The adults-only policy isn't just a marketing gimmick, it fundamentally changes the entire cruise experience in positive ways. The food is consistently better than what you'll find on traditional cruise lines, and the variety means you won't get bored eating the same things every night. The entertainment and activities feel more sophisticated and engaging than the typical cruise ship offerings. Instead of feeling like you're being treated like a child who needs constant supervision and simple activities, Virgin respects that their passengers are adults who want adult experiences. The ship itself feels more like a floating resort than a cruise ship, with design elements and amenities that rival high-end hotels on land. The technology integration works seamlessly, making everything from ordering drinks to controlling your cabin environment simple and intuitive. However, Resilient Lady isn't perfect for everyone. If you're used to the structured schedule and traditional cruise experience, Virgin's more flexible approach might feel disorganized at first. The lack of formal dining times and dress codes is liberating for some people, but confusing for others who prefer clear expectations. The adults-only policy is obviously a deal-breaker if you're traveling with children, but it's also not ideal for multi-generational family trips where grandparents want to cruise with their adult children and grandkids. Virgin made a specific choice about their target market, and they've stuck to it consistently. The pricing can be higher than mass-market cruise lines, especially when you factor in the specialty restaurants and drinks packages. However, the quality of food, service, and experiences generally justifies the premium. You're paying more, but you're getting significantly more value for your money. What makes Resilient Lady stand out from every other cruise ship I've sailed on is Virgin's commitment to treating passengers like intelligent adults who want sophisticated experiences. They've eliminated most of the things that make traditional cruising feel cheesy or juvenile, while keeping the convenience and value that make cruising attractive in the first place. The ship's design is genuinely innovative, from the multiple pool areas that serve different purposes to the restaurant concepts that go far beyond typical cruise ship dining. Virgin clearly spent time thinking about how people actually want to spend their vacation time, rather than just following the established cruise industry playbook. The service throughout the ship is consistently excellent, with staff members who seem genuinely happy to be working there. This isn't the forced cheerfulness you sometimes encounter on other ships, it feels authentic and professional. The crew is well-trained and knowledgeable about everything from cocktail recipes to shore excursion details. Virgin's partnership with local businesses in ports of call creates more authentic cultural experiences than the generic excursions offered by most cruise lines. You feel like you're actually visiting these destinations rather than just checking them off a list. The technology integration throughout the ship works better than on most newer cruise ships. The app is intuitive and reliable, the Wi-Fi actually works well enough to stay connected, and the in-cabin controls respond quickly. These might seem like small details, but they make a big difference in your daily experience aboard the ship. For events and conferences, Resilient Lady offers several flexible meeting spaces that can be configured for different types of gatherings. The business center provides proper office facilities with reliable internet and printing capabilities. While this isn't a ship designed primarily for corporate events, the facilities are adequate for small meetings or incentive trips. The meeting rooms feature modern audiovisual equipment and can accommodate groups ranging from small executive sessions to larger presentations. The business services include secretarial support, courier services, and even video conferencing capabilities for companies that need to stay connected during their cruise. What really sets Virgin apart is the collection of guest experiences that go beyond typical cruise ship offerings. I've heard countless stories from passengers who were surprised by unexpected touches that made their cruise memorable. One couple mentioned how the bartender at SIP remembered their drink preferences and had their cocktails ready when they arrived each evening. Another passenger told me about how the spa staff noticed she was celebrating an anniversary and arranged for a complimentary couples massage upgrade that wasn't part of any package she'd purchased. These aren't scripted customer service moments, they are genuine attempts to create personalized experiences for individual guests. The crew members throughout the ship seem empowered to make decisions that improve guest experiences without having to check with multiple supervisors. This leads to faster problem resolution and more creative solutions when issues arise. It's the kind of service you'd expect at a high-end resort, not necessarily on a cruise ship. Virgin has also created unique partnerships that result in exclusive experiences you can't get elsewhere. The collaboration with local artists and musicians in various ports creates cultural exchanges that feel authentic rather than manufactured for tourists. These partnerships often result in onboard performances or workshops that showcase local talents and traditions. The ship's commitment to sustainability shows up in unexpected ways that enhance the guest experience. The farm-to-table initiatives mean fresher ingredients in the restaurants, while the reduced plastic waste programs create a cleaner environment throughout the ship. These environmental efforts don't feel like sacrifices, they actually improve the quality of your cruise experience. Overall, Resilient Lady represents a significant evolution in cruise ship design and operations. Virgin Voyages took the time to understand what modern travelers actually want from a cruise vacation, rather than just copying what other cruise lines have always done. The result is a ship that feels fresh, sophisticated, and genuinely enjoyable for adults who want a vacation that treats them like adults. The adults-only concept works because it's not just about excluding children, it's about creating an entire experience designed around adult preferences and interests. From the restaurant concepts to the entertainment options to the spa treatments, everything is curated for passengers who want sophisticated experiences without the chaos and noise that often comes with traditional family-friendly cruise ships. If you're considering Resilient Lady for your next cruise, know that you're signing up for something genuinely different from the typical cruise experience. It's not just a marketing claim. Virgin has fundamentally reimagined what a cruise can be, and the result is something special that's worth experiencing at least once.